Welcome back to my prosperous, amazing, abundant podcast. Hello, beautiful people. So this is Akuwavi Yemaja, and this is I'm going to tell the experiences that I had with Baset and Sekhmet. And so I can remember as a young girl, when I asked my family about this story that I'm getting ready to tell you, they'd say that they think that I was dreaming or something, but no, this was not a dream. Okay, I know I wasn't. So I remember we stayed in a house that was extremely creepy, and then they would talk about this house. So I know that this was not a dream, that this is something that actually happened. So the walls would sweat, and I would see, I remember I was at the front door, and I was looking down the hallway, and it was just always this, how when you walk in the room, and it's kind of like the energy, it's kind of like it was always dark. There was no lightning, it wasn't bright. I don't think even I don't remember the walls even being that bright. It was just, you felt something every time you was in there. And so I remember I was at the front door, and I saw the little the truck moving, and I wasn't scared. It was kind of if anything, I had more questions, but I wasn't scared. But I do remember that part. And so, I wasn't too young to know about things like that. I always been interested in the paranormal, and they call it the paranormal and the spiritual side. So I remember being outside up under a huge tree. I'm not sure what type of tree this was, but I know that the roots of the tree, they went throughout the yard. There were very strong roots in the ground that went throughout the yard. So I remember being outside and playing with these 3 black cats. They were kittens, though. They were little black cat kittens. And I always play with these kittens. Every time I came outside, it's I don't even know where the hell these cats even would come from. But so this is definitely not a dream. This really is something that happened. They kept telling me when I would tell this story, they kept telling me it was something like a dream. But this was back. My grandmother, back in the day when I told her about it. So I said, they kept telling me it was a dream. I said, no, it wasn't. I was actually playing with these cats. And so as I grew, I kept noticing that everywhere I went, I would see a cat, preferably black cats. And at this time, I wasn't as deep in exorcism like how I am now. So I was just going off for what I was programmed to believe, which was that black cats was bad luck. So I would turn them away, or I kind of wouldn't pay them any mind, or even look at, what was happening. So, but that didn't keep them away. So every time I was out, a black cat would come out of nowhere and stare at me, or just sit there and just look at me. It was like it would communicate with me through its eyes. And so, even now in my neighborhood, every time morning I go out, I see a black cat, and they can be walking. When I come out, they'll stop and just look at me. Even the black ravens, I don't know if they ravens or crows, but I think I'm not sure, but I have a book, Signs and Symbols. Get that book. It has a lot of symbolism of different animals. It's a good book. It has a lot of pictures, bright pictures, nice pictures of different things, and different symbolisms that play out in this natural world. The natural world symbolism, animal symbolism, seasons symbolism. I think it has traditional symbolism from different times. I'm gonna have to look through that book again, because I already seen it once when I first got it. I was all up and through it, but I haven't picked it up until recently, and some new things I found out. But every time I go outside, the birds talk. Every time I come outside, it's like they're talking. I have 2 pine cone trees in my yard, and they'll be in the trees. They'll come to the trees and sit there and look at me in the garden. Or I'm very familiar with birds too. They cross my path a lot, especially that raven. They're always talking to me. So, but that didn't keep. Okay, I was at that part. I have this written down. So, a cat is a solar beast, Beast not being, I'm not saying that it's, you know what they term as a beast, something that's wild and violent, but that's not what I mean. So a cat is a solar beast, and they are guardians of sacred places and may adorn buildings as gargoyles. That's another thing that I'm attracted to, gargoyles. I'm not sure if y'all remember the cartoon one back in the day, the gargoyles. That was my shit. I used to watch that every day. I'm trying to find some statues of some gargoyles. That's some good protection. They are also combined with water. Yes, water. Yemaja, symbol of fertility. I'm gonna do like a whole segment. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna do like a whole. I want to do a whole segment on that, but I'm not gonna combine that with this right now. But it is symbolized, and that's just another clarification how these things continue to go in a circle. It's like they show me these different animals and these different deities, and they all correlate with each other. Like with the cat and the water and the fertility relates to Yemaya. It is a symbol. It's also symbolized of the moon and darkness, also associated with witchcraft. All cats are fierce hunters, and they represent speed, power, and beauty, which brings me to my dream. So this is the dream. So I was sitting on a bed. It was a dark room, but you know how the room be lit up like a little red when their candle is lit or something. It was kind of like that. Like I can still see the objects in the room, but it was dark. And this room kind of reminded me of a room from childhood. And so there was a woman sitting on the same bed with me, and she was holding a baby. It was kind of like an older lady. And so I could see someone coming towards me. It's like they was on them. It was like bunk beds, but they was beside each other instead of stacked on top of each other. So on the other, when I looked onto the other bed, it's like I saw somebody sitting on the bed. So then this person, they had like a petite body. Her body was petite, and she had like a cat head. I know who she was. So I screamed. So I screamed. I was terrified. Like I can feel all the emotions in the dream. So as she's standing up, coming towards me, I'm terrified. I'm like, no, stop, go away, leave me alone. But she kept coming to me. She kept walking up towards me, and it was a slow walk too. So, and she didn't have anything in her hand threatening. It wasn't threatening. It was just like what I just said was the speed, the power, and the beauty of what a cat represents. And so now I understand why she came. I researched her first, and she came as Sekhmet, then as Baset. They are coming to me for healing, for me to speed things up and recognize my power and beauty. That's how I felt. Let me tell you something. We are our own worst enemy. That's kind of like what I got from that, because I was terrified. But she came with fierce. It was like she was walking with fierceness. It was a fierce, powerful walk. Even though she just had the cat head, it was still majestic. As can I say that? It was like majestic, or powerful, like beautiful Queen of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, Queen of everything into one. And so that kind of like made me understand why it was that she was coming to me, and I was pushing her away, just like I was pushing these things away, like my power, my beauty, and just pretty much not speeding up my healing, but really going into it now, because you don't want to miss out on things because you're too busy trying to keep going back and looking at things as if that chapter hasn't already been closed. So I wanted to skip the small details, of course, as always, and small details are always a part of it. I just wanted to go straight to the finish line, and she was coming to me to let me know, no, it's still time for you to handle some of the issues that you still have, and everything. So there was another vision that I had where I was like in another country, because the store wasn't like a store here, like in America. It was like a store It was kind of like a flea market where like you went inside of it and it have no tile or anything like that. So I went inside the store and something caught my attention, like in the far back corner of this, store. It was like a tomb that was standing up. So, and I was drawn to it. So it was like the only thing that I could look at that was in the store because it was so big. So when I went up to it, it was Sekhmet. The person that was with me said something, but all I could say was, I need this statue. I have to have it. I didn't care how much it was. I had to have it. And as time goes on, I'm learning about these two energies. And I didn't know that Sekhmet and Baset were associated with each other. Sekhmet is the goddess of war and terror, and also for protection and healing. And Baset is a moon goddess, the moon goddess with the cat's head. They both resonated with me, and I just keep saying, and her picture kept coming up. I'm like, who is this? All I just saw was beauty. That's it. That's all I saw was beauty. And she just came to, remind me and to kind of like work with me and my healing, Sekhmet. And I just wanted to come on here and tell you all about my experiences. I want to start telling you more about my experiences that I've had with these different energies. Because to me, everything is energy. Everything, even the deities that we receive help for or ask for assistance from. This is all energy. And that energy, there are many like paths to that energy. Like Oshun, there are many paths to Oshun. There are many paths to Yemaja. There are many paths to Oya. There are many paths to Aja. There are many paths to Ochusi. There are many paths to Shango. Many paths to Ogun. Like they have many paths, so somebody can go there. You already know I'm on my Yemaya path, Oshun path, and everything. Of course, Oya has always been around transforming shit and turning shit upside down. So yeah, there are many paths to those three as well. So I hope that you learned something. I want to know about if you have ever worked with Baset or Sekhmet. Drop down in the comments below. And until next time, gods and goddesses, peace.